Well, big news coming in from the United Kingdom, where the Henry Jackson Society has chronicled a series of instances of Hindu students in schools in the United Kingdom being subject to brutal bullying within the school premises. Serious complaints that have been brought forth. Several parents of these students who were bullied were also interviewed, and all this has been chronicled in a detailed report on the part of the Henry Jackson Society, which is also, by the way, at the forefront of bringing in details with respect to how Hindus were subject to discrimination during the violence that took place in Leicester not too long ago. We have Rishabh as well as Pranesh now joining us for more details on this. Pranesh Roy, my colleague, will take us through some of the findings in this damning report. Yes, Pranesh.
This is, Siddharth, to put it in, in 3 words, undeniable anti-Hindu hate proof. We are not saying it. The Henry Jackson Society, and you referred to it, is a think tank that works to expose extremist ideology, and this is the latest from the Henry Jackson Society. They have compiled this survey, and in doing so, they also went to these schools and spoke to the parents of Hindu students, and as many as 51% of the parents said that their child was at the receiving end of Hinduphobia, anti-Hindu hate. Let's understand some examples. So this report is not compiled on basis of some isolated incidents. Volunteered case examples under this subheader. Look what the report says. 254 parents, the number important, the 254 parents chose to share details of incidents in schools. Details were coded into themes. The themes were chosen to reflect the fact that some issues appeared at high frequency. What are the themes? Theme number 1 in this report: anti-Hindu slurs. References made to polytheism, religious practices, idol worship. This has been grouped as anti-Hindu slurs, and here are the examples. References to idol worship. This is, and allow me to just read this verbatim. You don't know about your own religion. You have so many gods. Your religion is idol worship. Even though they were corrected to say deity worship, and they continue to insist that it's the same, when teachers say these things, they undermine the students and make a mockery of this. This is an example. Negative references to polytheism. Negative references to religious practices. Another example in this report. My child went to school with a religious symbol on his forehead. He was bullied until he no longer wanted to attend school. Over the years, we've had to change his school 3 times with East London. Here's another one. My daughter was bullied at school and had beef thrown at her by classmates as she is a Hindu. Let that sink in. This is the report saying it. I'm reading it again. My daughter was bullied at a school, had beef thrown at her by classmates only because this student was a Hindu. Let's look at theme 2. Far-right xenophobia. Typical xenophobic tropes such as go back home and negative references made to skin color have been coded as far-right. What are the examples here? Jesus will send your gods to hell. Another one, shouting go back home you Paki, white kids gang up and don't talk to Hindu kids. Let's look at theme 3, Islamist extremism. References to Islamic supremacy and calls for Hindus to convert or threats of hell for disbelievers have been grouped as Islamist extremism. And what are the examples under theme 3? Harassed and told that if they convert to Islam, their life will become so much easier. So the only way to escape from what they were receiving, hate and bigotry because of their religious identity, was to convert to Islam. Here's another example under theme 3, Islamist extremism. You aren't going to survive very long. If you want to go to paradise, you will have to come to Islam. Hindus are the herbivores at the bottom of the food chain. We will eat you up, Siddharth. Let's look at theme 4, linking Hindu pupils to India. And here are the examples. Other students tried to bully my daughter that she is Hindu, saying, why you people break our mosque? Why you people attack us? So we changed the school. The parents, out of options, didn't know what to do, so they had to resort to this desperate measure. Another one. Child has faced bullying from other children on many occasions, specifically after PM Modi's rise in India and after Article 370 was revoked. Linking Hinduism to the caste system. Here's an example that this report cites. Lots of bullying from other pupils about different gods, and even shaming my children about caste system and about Modi in India, some children try and tell my children, and this gets interesting here. Look at this example. This talks about Zakir Naik, the hate preacher. Some children try and tell my children to watch videos of Zakir Naik and convert because Hinduism makes no sense. Here's theme 5, poor teaching. In a school open day, the displayed material regarding Hinduism talked about casteism only with references to Hinduism, even though various sects exist also in Christianity and in Islam, with animosity and lack of mobility between these sects. This type of selective highlighting of social evils and attributing it to Hinduism leads to bullying. Teacher taught that Sati Pratha is part of Hinduism. This resulted in my child being alienated by classmates for being a Hindu and blaming for such a bad custom. My child has absolutely no knowledge about it, so could not answer any question asked by friends. It impacted mental health of my child for almost a year. And these are just students that we're talking about, school students, Siddharth, school students, impressionable and vulnerable young minds. They were subjected to such cruelty, such bigotry was served in school books and in school premises. Here's theme 6, lack of school provision. Noted was an unequal approach by schools to Hindu practices and festivals when compared with other faiths. And then the report goes on and on, talks about prejudice, bigotry and hate against Hindus, and all this has been compiled painstakingly by the Henry Jackson Society.
One damning finding in all of that, in fact, I'll come back to you, Pranesh.